Hello everyone. I was trying to think of a topic, and yesterday was kind of talking about goals and things. And along with wanting to do something comes fears. Fears of the unknown, fears of success. I don't really have a fear of failure. I'm good at that. I know how to fail. I just don't know how to succeed and be successful, because then what happens? I don't know. So you have fears, physical and emotional effects of fear. Some of the physical effects or manifestations could be trembling, temporary paralysis, you're scared stiff, erratic heartbeat, stomach pain, muscle tension, twitching, head pain, nausea, dizziness, crying, stuttering, erratic sleep patterns, loss of appetite, rapid shallow breathing, that fight or flight reflex, and you have an increase of blood sugar, which I just learned. No wonder, right? Mental effects, repetitive or negative thoughts. That I've had. And you try not to think about someone telling you you're going to fail, you're going to fail. It's not going to work. No matter how hard you say, hey, it's just a thought. The thought's still there. Loss of focus and confusion. You need to stay on task. Emotional effects, terror, anxiety, anger, despair, numbness, and helplessness. So what do we do? How can we cope? Is it better to fling ourselves forward head first right into the fear? How do we deal with it? I was reading an article in Science Daily, January 2016 article. It's a Dr. Suma Chand, Associate Professor of Psychology at St. Louis University, talking about rational versus irrational fears. Now, the rational fears are things that make common sense, right? Like, if you touch a hot stove or you lean against a hot oven, you're going to get burned and it's going to hurt. Strange, wild animals, or big animals or animals you don't know. Of course, you're not going to have no fear because you don't know them, they don't know you, you could get hurt. Seems to be a theme going here. Contagions that will make you sick. When there's a flu epidemic and you went to the store for milk and there's people around you coughing their heads off with dripping noses and stuff, that fear is going to go through you like, oh crap, I hope I don't get sick. And if you take it any further than that in your thinking, then you are fearful of it. And then those kind of fears of rational things can turn into irrational fears. Fears of things that aren't really happening, that could possibly happen, and then your mind blows them totally out of proportion. This doctor, Dr. Suma Chand, had a hypothesis to confront the fears little by little with the help of a psychiatrist assistant for reassurance. Well, that's great if you can afford that. But is that the way to go? Do you face it? Do you dig right in? I don't know. What if you're on your own or you don't have a doctor or the means to have a doctor? What do you do then? Actual fears versus anxieties. And if left alone, anxieties can develop into phobias, which are pretty severe ways of thinking about things, and they really do need professional help when you have phobias. Fear is a reaction to an actual danger signal. It involves physical and mental tension that helps you spring into action to protect yourself from something that is happening. The physical and mental tension of anxiety is very similar to fear, but with one important difference. The feeling is coming from the anticipation of future danger or something that could happen when there's no imminent danger. Anxiety problems often run in families and can be partly explained by the biology and genetics. Oh boy. My mother has it. She takes medicine for it. She's always been kind of neurotic, ring in her hands, gets really upset and flies off the handle on things, just goes crazy about it. And not that she is crazy, that she acts beyond normal, okay? And I used to be so incredibly tightly wound that I was just like that. Wringing my hands, jumpy as all heck. I still am jumpy. But I've tried my hardest not to be like that. But maybe it is genetic. Maybe that's why I'm having problems. Maybe there is some kind of chemical imbalance. I don't know. But what to try? It's suggested to try exercise. Exercise is really good. Exercise is good for a lot of things. When I'd get upset in high school, I'd get on my bicycle and ride and ride and ride. I rode over to Alton, Illinois. That's a good 20 miles and back. You know, for people that ride bicycle, that's nothing. But for just someone that gets upset, gets on their bike, that's pretty much. And even this spring, I wanted to ride my bike. I thought maybe that would help me lose weight, help me feel better. Of course, there's other things you can do for exercise. Laundry, dishes. Keep yourself busy. Keep your mind busy. Train your thoughts to be the solution. Your cognitive behavioral therapy. And I have to tell myself to stay on task. I have to think, well, you know, this is just a thought. There's nothing hurting me right now. If I could take that thought and figure out where the root of that thought is and why and how to deal with it. Yoga will help also. I'm not as flexible as I used to be, but there are some yoga poses that you can do sitting in a chair. Meditation. I never knew how to meditate. I wrote it down somewhere because I found the perfect explanation on how to meditate, where they tell you how to empty your thoughts and how to relax. I can't find that right now. I have to find it. But I have done it, and it does work. And being mindfulness, like I said, keeping myself on task. Mindfulness is a state of mind where you learn to observe your thoughts, feelings, and behaviors in a present, compassionate, and non-judgmental way. It often brings about a sense of calm and relaxation. So those are all thoughts that I have been thinking, and I wrote them down so that I could make sure I got it all in there. My sources are thedailyscience.com, helpguide.org about psychological conditions, and Psychologist Anywhere, Anytime. And if you have fears turning to anxieties, turning into phobias, if you can, seek a counselor, seek a life coach. That's what life coaches help you with. If you have a friend to have tea with, just to chew the rag, as they say. If you have someone there, don't abuse the privilege, but let them know that you need them. Let them know that them being there helps. You can distract yourself by doing things, often doing things you're supposed to be doing in the first place. Will she heed her own advice? I'm going to try. I'm going to try to go upward and onward.